I'm back with Sue Kreitzman, and she's going to continue talking about how she became a caterer and how she became an author of food books. Now, you've written how many?
27.
27.
Plus
okay.
Countless magazine articles. And
No, the actual cookbooks.
27 actual books.
And then lots of articles, of
and
course.
Newspaper and magazines and all
Yeah,
that sort of
and
thing.
you have a massive cooking library.
I do.
Or rather an archive, actually.
Yeah, at this point it's an archive.
Yes.
Because I became a food professional quite
Yes.
by accident.
Of course.
Because they wrote to me out of the blue. A New York publisher said, "Do you want to write a book?" I said, "Sure." And then I started to think, how do you write a book? And my husband, who was a professor of biochemistry and human nutrition, we did it together. It was a groundbreaking book.
What was it called?
The Nutrition Cookbook.
Oh, wow.
Really exciting, jazzy title. Yeah, that was a long time ago. You can still see it on Amazon, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not going to go into all of it. It was very interesting. We were doing computer work. The computer was new in those days.
So it was about 20 years ago.
No,
yeah?
much more than that.
More.
Because it was in the late 70s.
70s.
So, yeah. Anyway, so then I was writing for the big newspaper in Atlanta, the Journal-Constitution, their Wednesday or Thursday food page. I had a regular column. And a friend of mine had a bistro in Atlanta, and his chef left one weekend in a huff. We used to go there to dinner.
And they used to call, he called you up.
He called me and he said, "Hey,
Help."
So I went in for the weekend, and I actually stayed for a couple of years. So I cooked in that, and I was doing more writing.
Yeah.
And I acquired an agent, and I decided I wanted to write a book about garlic. And in those days, garlic, people were a little bit frightened of it. It wasn't as sexy and jazzy as it is now. And
You had to do a lot of research. But why did you choose garlic?
Because I love garlic, and I felt that it was underrated. And in those days in New York, the famous Four Seasons restaurant forbid garlic in any form, in any of their dishes.
Really?
They were idiots, absolute idiots. So people did not understand garlic. Maybe in California they understood a little better than they did in the rest of the country. So lo and behold, Crown Publishers were doing a series of books on individual subjects. They chose me and garlic as the first.
Okay.
And then I went on to write one for them about potatoes, about comfort food, about Jewish deli food.
Oh, yes.
That was fun. And then it just blossomed.
Yeah,
It absolutely blossomed.
yeah.
And because of my hubby's career, he was offered a position as a research fellow at Cambridge University. We moved to the UK. Here, my career really took off. I was writing healthy, sexy, low-fat cooking. The BBC picked me up.
Was this in London or in Cambridge?
At that point, I was living in Cambridgeshire.
Right.
But I was traveling around a lot because I was doing television work in Manchester and Birmingham, the BBC. It was a very exciting time of my life. I wrote book after book after book.
But you didn't look like you look today. I've seen photographs of how you looked.
Well, first of all, I was much younger.
Yes.
Much younger. I mean, it was maybe 30 years ago. That's a big difference. And my hair was salt and pepper. It wasn't silver. And I was very, very slim. It partly had to do with the years, a long time ago. Also, I was so devoted to my way of cooking, my low-fat, healthy way. I was very obsessed with it. So, yes, we all, as we age, we turn into different people. The secret is to like yourself as much now as you did then.
Oh, very good philosophy.
There's nothing wrong with the way I am now. Maybe I'm a little creaky and achy, but still.
You're not 80 yet. Come on, don't age yourself.
Anyway, so
you're dying to be an octogenarian, but you're not there yet.
No, I'm inching, I'm creeping.
You're a few years off.
I'll just say a little bit about age.
Yes.
I am very proud of my age. This sounds flippant, but this is true. When my mother was my age, she was dead for 25 years.
Wow.
And my father died.
But people live longer now.
And they don't have, I didn't have the same problems she had, but every year, I'm so proud. It's an adventure and it's a privilege to live this long.
It is.
It's
well,
an adventure
you
and a
are,
privilege.
remind me, 77?
I'll be 77 any minute now.
Ah, okay, sorry. So 76.
76, creeping up on 77.
Yes,
so,
yes.
No, I'm very, very proud of myself.
Yes.
And we all should.
And so
all
you
of
should
us
be.
who are traveling through time and aging, we should be proud of ourselves.
Yes.
So I did a lot of cooking. I did a lot of writing. I was either traveling around for being on television or publicizing my book or giving cooking
Was it
lessons.
translated into other languages?
It was. One of my books was translated into dozens of languages. I mean, 2 different Spanish, 2 different Chinese, and all over the world.
Right.
And then there were the American editions. British editions were always first.
Yes.
It was
I
great.
do know about all that because I used to own a picture library.
Right. No, it was great. It was the most wonderful career. It was very exhausting, but I was younger, and I became a household. You know, I wasn't as famous as Delia Smith, but in my little way, I was quite well known.
Of course.
And at this point, almost everybody, if they look on their mother's shelf or their grandmother's shelf, they will see 1 or 2 of
A
my
bit like
books.
Florence Greenberg.
It's fabulous. Yes.
Yes.
It's just, there it is.
Or Harriet, wait a minute, I've forgotten the name. The Victorian one. Everybody had her cookbook.
Well, just the other
I
day.
can't remember. What was the name? It was the first British cookbook.
You mean Hannah Glass?
No, I don't. British.
I think Hannah Glass was British.
Anyway, never mind. So tell me, why did you give all this up? You must have given it up for...
That's such a good question. How much time do we have? Because I have quite a bit to say.
We've got only 4 minutes, so
Okay,
maybe that had better be in part 3.
I'll just say very quickly, I had written 27 books.
Yes.
I was proofreading the manuscript. It's a great time in one's author's life because the work is really done. You're just checking the spelling. It's all there. You're very, very proud. I always loved art and loved color, but I knew that I myself was crap at art. I couldn't draw. I couldn't paint. I couldn't even doodle. So I had all my markers and all my highlighters and pieces of paper. My hand, this is a true story. It sounds crazy.
I bet it's to do with channeling.
I don't know. My hand picked up a marker and drew a mermaid.
Yeah,
And
I
it
saw
had
the mermaids in your toilet.
a fish for a hat.
Yeah.
It was festooned with snakes. It was very folk arty.
Did
It
you
was-
have a vision?
It just came. And I looked at it, and I know I can't draw. I looked at this thing. It was kind of primitive. It was very folk arty, and I looked at the mermaid, and the mermaid looked at me, and suddenly I didn't want to
You
cook
spoke.
anymore.
You spoke.
We communicated. I became utterly obsessed with drawing, day and night. Stopped cooking. Stopped writing about food. My family, my agent.
So you had an epiphany.
That's exactly what I had.
That's right.
I either had an epiphany, or the muse bit me in the bum.
Yes. I
or
understand.
Maybe it was the menopause.
You had a message from a mermaid. You know the famous mermaid was Iemanjá in Brazil,
Yeah,
the goddess of the sea.
Yeah, Mami Wata in Africa, and I adore Mami Wata. So this is what happened, and I was drawing mermaids. Then, because I felt a little guilty about abandoning my food career, just like that.
And your husband was starving by this time.
Well, my family were gobsmacked. My agent thought I had lost my mind. And because food was still on my mind, I started drawing women with food. I drew the Radiant Soup Brigade. That was a whole series. Women with garlic, women with watermelon, women with fruit. Still have all these drawings.
And you started looking like Carmen Miranda.
And now I just want to be modest, but I will say I'm sort of world famous in outsider art circles. I curate outsider art shows. I make all sorts of wild art. I befriend and mentor outsider artists. I have this amazing career. It was a gift from the universe. I am eternally grateful.
Okay, well, we'll definitely discuss that evolution from the sea in part 3. Thank you very much, Sue. And you're off to New York now, so in fact, part 3 will be later.
Yeah, and what do I do in New York? I draw.
Yeah.
And I paint. And I make sculptures.
And you socialize.
Yeah, well, same thing. Same thing.
Right, wonderful. You've got a double life. You're schizophrenic.
Well, it's the same life, just in 2 different people.
Yeah, I know.
Different places.
I know.
Yes.
Lovely talking, and thank you very
my
much
dear.
for inviting me into your private world.
And thank you for
Bye-bye.
listening.